Hey YouTube, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. Yes, that looks too spooky. There we go. I'm trying to illuminate my face. It's dark. I'm only doing this now because I need to get it done sooner than later. And this is going to be a little bit out of order from the other Let's Talks. Again, because I need to get it done sooner than later. This is not a great light for video. It's just a little headlamp. Anyways. And so I'm doing this now for a friend. Well, sort of. I was planning on doing this specific video anyways. I'm just gonna cut that. You guys are just gonna enjoy me in the dark. Well, except if maybe like... Okay, that's interesting. That's not... Okay, that looks a little bit strange, but I'll go with that. I like that. So, anyways, yeah, so it's for a friend, but I was planning on doing this topic anyways as a video, and so I'm doing it as a video now. Kill two birds with one stone, if you know what I mean. This is going to be kind of what I consider to be good evidence that the Spirit exists and that God exists. And if you guys don't know, I've mentioned this before, any of you new around here on my channel, and I'm a Mormon. Our proper name is Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so basically what we believe in, you know, God and stuff. Kind of obvious. If you haven't heard of God before, Google it. You'll get you a basic idea. But the Spirit, and what sorry, I'll explain. Never mind, because don't trust Google. But God is He's a being that's powerful, and He created us and this earth. That's basically who God is. And then there's the Spirit. So we believe in Heavenly Father. There's Jesus. And then the Holy Spirit He's on the low of the totem pole of those three people. The Spirit, we have a spirit inside of us, and He has a spirit like us. He's going to eventually get a body. But His basic purpose right now is He just goes around and gives revelation. That looks really spooky. But yeah, He gives... Oh, hey, my hand is a reflector. Cool. He gives revelation to us from God. He's God's messenger. We pray to God. He tells God, or God hears us, and then He comes back and gives us feelings inside. I can't hold my hand up that long. And just guides us. He's our guidance from God, literally. And so... the other thing I need to get out of the way before I tell this story is, so I mentioned this in the video. It's about when Green died, but what if I do my tie? Nah, well, sort of. Oh yeah, that's a reflector. I'll have my tie out weird. But so I mentioned this in the videos where Green died, but this is also... What am I thinking of? Yeah, this is also... It's not real. This is not... Well... okay. So the problem is not real. No, sorry, I'm tired. The problem is real, but it is not what I'm... So... let's say I have addiction with smoking, quote-unquote, but I don't have an addiction with smoking. I do have this problem, this quote-unquote sin, although it's... Calling it sin is really tricky because we don't believe everybody's sinners. We don't believe in sin the way that other religions believe in sin. We don't go around saying that you're a sinner. But we do believe some things are sin, and there's like extrinsic value versus intrinsic value. That's for another time. I'm going to plan to talk on that, kind of get my take on that, do the best I can. But that's for another time. But right now, all you need to know is that there's something I'm working on stopping doing, much like an addiction, and we're going to refer to it as smoking, although it is not smoking whatsoever. Whew. So, when did this start? I was probably 12, I want to say. And, if I speak in a Spanish accent, sorry, I just got through trying out some Spanish because I'm learning Spanish. But anyway, so I was probably 12 when I started smoking, honestly. And this was a thing where, like, I started smoking, and then I found out that smoking was bad, and So now I'm kind of addicted to smoking. And what was I thinking of? Yeah, so yeah, I'm now addicted to smoking. But it's not smoking, so it's, I don't know. I guess smoking fits the bill too. I'm sure there's plenty of places where you could somehow get addicted to smoking, start smoking before you find out smoking is bad. And of course, I believe smoking is bad health-wise as far as religious-wise. But so basically, I'm smoking. But remember, it's not actual smoking, and I can't say what it is. So, smoking. Yeah, I've been smoking since I was 12. So 12, that'd be 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, that's 5, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So 11 years I have been smoking. It should have been a little bit easier math. Anyways, yeah, I've been smoking for 11 years. Ooh. And when I started, I didn't know, but eventually I started feeling sad, kind of for myself. And there was a period where I kind of sort of was being really hard on myself, kind of beating myself up inside, saying, "Why are you smoking, you idiot?" Stuff like that. But I don't do that anymore, and it really wasn't as serious as when other people would. And like, if I ever say anything to that effect now, it's gone. Like, by the next day, I've woken up, I'm usually happy again, and back to whatever projects and work that I'm doing. So yeah, it's I'm sorry if this is really scary. I am wearing glasses, by the way. So yeah, sorry. Yeah, but yeah, it's been going for quite a while, but I don't beat up on myself anymore, like as much as I used to. But even when I did, I don't think it was as bad as other people, And even now, like maybe once or twice every once in a while, but it's gone a couple minutes later. But I've been doing it for a while, and I started feeling kind of sorry for myself. And I was not at all feeling sorry for myself as much, because everybody says it's wrong. Well, not everybody, but they say, like my parents, religious leaders say it's wrong, and don't smoke, and feel shame for yourself. No. We do talk about things that are wrong, not in gross details, but we say this category of thing is usually wrong, don't do it. This is wrong, like don't smoke. Smoking is against the word of wisdom. But at the same time, we don't look at it the same as other religions do. It's quite different with us. And so I was feeling sorry, and I don't know, maybe 5% sorry because, well, it's wrong and that sort of a thing. But most of it was just because when I was really able to start to see how it was affecting my life, and I could start to feel the spirit leave. I mean, and maybe the spirit left when I first started, maybe he didn't, I don't know, because I didn't notice. But either way, I really did notice it, especially once I knew that it was wrong. It's just kind of like when you have somebody, well, yeah, they don't know something's wrong, and then they find out and they feel sorry for themselves. Exactly what happened for me, kind of, but not really. I was more really noticing that the spirit had left. It's like, this is an example that I hope works, but like, let's pretend that there was something that you would do and it would turn your skin green, and it just slowly happens over time. And so as I'm smoking, my skin is turning green, we'll say black. No offense to black people, but like in the Book of Mormon and the scriptures, like the Book of Mormon, which is our version of the Bible, basically, but not. It's a completely different book, but it's the same category as the Bible. It's a religious book, okay? But in that, there were some people that their skin was turned dark because they disobeyed God's commandments. So I'll use black, but I'm not trying to hate on black people. I'm actually friends with a black person, so Anyways, so smoking, let's say, turns my skin black. And I don't notice it because I start smoking and it turns a little bit darker, but I'm seeing it slowly get darker and darker. It's the same as when you're with your best friend watching them grow up. You grow up together, and then you don't see each other for 5 years, and when you come back, suddenly they're a lot taller, but you never notice them get taller as you were growing up playing together. It's like that. That's what it's like, is you, for me, slowly noticing that my skin was turning black. But of course, as you can see, I'm still white. Just a metaphor. But yeah, it slowly started happening like that, and there's something interesting I recently learned. So I had an institute teacher. Institute is a class. It's a religious class, kind of like church, but it's during the week. You like seminary, but for older kids, older people, go to study stuff like that. And yeah, like the young single adults is what institute is for. But so the thing that my last institute teacher did a few times is he says, okay, how many of you want to be kids again? Raise your hands. And so some of us, of course, a bunch of us would raise our hands. And he says, no, you don't want to be kids again. Your parents tell you what to eat and what to wear and what to do. They take you around places. They're really controlling. You don't want to be a kid again because it's so controlling. You're being controlled all the time. But the reason that you do want to be kids again, actually, is because you don't want responsibility. And thinking about that, I think it's kind of funny, and it makes perfect sense. But then again, it didn't sit right with me. Look at our shadow there. Yeah. But it didn't sit right with me. And as I thought about it, I then realized, like, I'm fine with the responsibility that I have now. I could even use a little bit more. Not a lot, just a little. I could take a little more responsibility. Like, I'm a manager at work, and I've got other responsibilities and stuff, so I could take a little bit more responsibility. Not a lot, just a little. So I'm fine with the responsibility I have, but the reason that I want to be a kid again is because that's when I was happy. Like, as a kid, there was a little bit of teasing and other things going on, but I was really resilient and strong. And so I would say that most of the time as a kid, I was a 10 on the scale of happiness, 10 being best, 1 being worst. And then when I started smoking, I was like maybe a 9. And then I noticed that it was affecting my life in a bad way. And so I became an 8 on the scale of happiness. And remember, this is not at all anything to do with you're a sinner, shame on you religious thing that some of the other religions take as a viewpoint. No. There's nothing to do with that at all. What time is it anyways? 9:10, yeah. So, nothing to do with that at all. And so, now I'm an 8 on the scale of happiness. And then it took me a while to even notice that. I started feeling more sad until I got to 8. And then eventually I really noticed, I'm not as happy as I used to be. But the thing for me that, and this won't be proof for everybody, won't get everybody to believe. But I'm more than happy to have a friendly discussion in the comment section below, or however you want to get a hold of me. Send me a message on Facebook or whatever. But basically, so first what happened is I broke up with my girlfriend around this point. This was like 2 years ago. She's now happily married and has a daughter. Yay for her. I even filmed her wedding. So no hard feelings there. No, well, she broke up with me. And that was really sad. And I went down to like a 7, maybe 6 on the scale of happiness when we broke up. And so we'll say 6. And then a couple of days later, I went back up to 7 again. And then I don't think I was fully, it took me a while to fully get over that and get back to the 8 that I was. I kind of hovered at 7 for a while. But then a few days later, there was a period where I had what we kind of call a Gethsemane experience in reference to Jesus and his experience in Gethsemane. But, so this was, I don't know, 5 days, maybe a week after I had broken up with my girlfriend, and so I was back to somewhat normal. I could go around and function and stuff, not quite as happy, but I could. versus just sitting around wanting to do nothing. And what am I thinking of? And so the Gethsemane experience, which I've been told we all have to have, and we sometimes have multiple ones, which I hope that my subsequent ones, if I have any, are not as bad as this. But it was, I woke up and I was feeling sad immediately when I woke up. And nothing bad had happened the day before. It was just a perfectly normal day. Like, 99% of my days are normal. Okay? And I'm happy 99% of the time. So it was just a perfectly normal day, but the Spirit had left. And again, remember, He's there to comfort us, give us guidance from God. He was just gone. Like, I went from being a 7 on the scale of happiness down to being like a 2 on the scale of happiness. Maybe 1. No, I'll say 2 and reserve 1 for people who have it worse than me. But yeah, it just like that. And it was like that for that day. And a few days later, it was like that too. And so I guess before I go on with more stories and stuff, I think my point here, like, can you find any explanation why you would go to bed and then wake up and just feel sad when you've never ever felt that sad before in your life ever? Literally. And it was horrible. I wondered if God even loved me. And for me, I can't find any other explanation why either, except that the Spirit left for a while to really show me what it's like with Him gone, and just give me that sort of just show me what it's like, because I needed to see it. I was raised in the church, and so I fully understand that I might need to see what it's like without Him. It's like, if you guys seen my poem, My Friends Are in Holes, I mentioned that you can't appreciate level ground without first seeing holes, and it's true. And so I realized, okay, maybe I can't appreciate having the Spirit around without first seeing holes. And so it was awful and it was horrible. And then it got even worse for me, because at that time I was kind of learning that what I thought spiritual promptings were isn't what spiritual promptings are. They're not. And, they come differently for everybody. But what I was noticing probably wasn't spiritual promptings. And so then I basically, in my mind, I was thinking, okay, great. Now I have no way to talk to God, because I can't trust myself to receive a spiritual prompting and know that it's an actual spiritual prompting versus a thought just running around in my head that sounds like a good idea, or maybe it sounds like a bad idea, and so I think, oh, the Spirit's telling me not to go do this. And it was horrible. There was 1% of me, one tiny little spark that kept me going, but I seriously kind of wanted to kill myself. So that 1% kept me going, plus the fact that I don't like pain. So, I hate pain. So the kitchen knives are out. So all the knives are out completely. Okay, maybe a gun, but all I have is a long .22 rifle, and how in the world am I going to shoot myself with that? And what if I miss, and then I feel all this pain because I didn't hit myself in the right spot? And it was just a horrible sounding idea for the pain perspective, and because a small part of me was kind of keeping me going. But it was horrible. And eventually I did kind of figure out again what spiritual promptings are and kind of ways that I received them, but not having that connection was awful. I would take walks and I would cry. It's not fun, trust me. And I mean, even now, I'm probably still kind of learning what spiritual promptings are and better ways to interpret them. But I'm better at it, and now I could actually notice and say, hey, this is, okay, that's a spiritual prompting, that one's Probably not. But it's been awful and it's been horrible. And so basically I would say my proof is that, what's the word? So basically the way I see this as kind of proof is that I went into bed from a perfectly normal day and I woke up earlier than I usually do on a perfectly normal day, and I was a 2 on the scale of happiness. I mean, how do you explain that? I mean, maybe somebody who suffers from depression and stuff has a different explanation, but I don't suffer from depression, okay? Do not suffer from depression whatsoever. Like I said, 99% of the time, I'm happy. And I guess I have a coworker, and he wondered if I suffered from depression. It seemed like that, but I don't. Trust me, I don't. I do not suffer from depression. I'm so thankful I don't. And one more story, kind of running out of time, but what am I thinking of? I guess another sad moment during this journey that I'm thinking of right now, I want to throw in here, is just kind of realizing, like, the Lord telling me that there's certain things, like, for once, directly from the Lord, I heard there were some things that He can't give me. Because I said, so I needed to pick somebody for a ward prayer. That's just the thing that our single adults do as a church, where we get together and we give out names of people that we need to pray for. So I needed to pick somebody to give a thought, and then I needed to pick somebody to give the prayer and pray for all those people. So I said my own prayer, and I said, hey Lord, I would like some guidance on who I should pick to give the thought and the prayer. And He said, I'm sorry, but I can't give you that guidance right now because of what you're doing. Just pick somebody. So, I guess in a way, He kind of sort of trusted me, because He told me to pick somebody. I mean, I'm pretty sure that if I was going to pick, like, the wrong person, and not like they were going to give a really horrible spiritual thought, but, like, their spiritual thought was going to, like, deconvert a lot of people and something really bad like that, then I'm sure, sorry, going the other way now, then I'm sure that He would have stopped me. But, so it's kind of nice to think that He trusted me, but at the same time, it was really sad. It made me cry. It's like, okay, I'll do what you say and I'll pick somebody. But it just makes me sad to think that I can't have His guidance. So that's pretty much it. Like I said again, I'm not going to convert everybody. It'd be nice, but I know that's not going to happen. But yeah, I just think that because I woke up one day and was really sad compared to all the other days where I've been happy, maybe kind of proof that the Spirit was there, because it was sad because He left. And I can say, however, that, well, I'm on my way out of smoking. I hope. I think. That's the other thing, too, that kind of makes me sad, is I don't beat up on myself anymore. Like, if I ever have that thought, it's there for like 2 seconds, and then it's gone, and I'm back to being happy with myself. 99% happy with myself. But, what am I thinking of? Oh boy. I lost my thought. Sadness and happiness. Oh yeah, but the one thought I have now that makes me the saddest is like, okay, oh man, well, I just smoked again, and I'm trying to stop smoking, and I thought it was the end, I thought that whatever I was feeling last week was it, that I was. Why aren't there any new answers? I have tried when I started trying, I was looking for answers, for ways to stop this from the Lord. And it did take me a while, at least a couple of years before I really started trying and before I started finding answers. And then, I don't remember when, but eventually got to the point where, okay, I tried what my bishop has said, I tried what another bishop has said, I've tried what the Lord has told me. I've tried everything that I can see in the scriptures that I read daily. I have tried everything, and there has been nothing new. And I can't find any reason why the Lord would make me wait. If the Lord wants to teach me something, He's going to, He can use sin to teach people, but He doesn't force people to sin to teach them a lesson. He uses the sin that they choose to do to teach them the lesson. And I know for a fact that He wouldn't make anyone wait. If you really wanted to stop, He'd give you the answer. So, basically that says that I have the answer, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm not doing a good enough job at following that answer, or if I just haven't recognized it for some reason. Maybe I kind of don't know, but it's there in plain sight, and I just don't recognize it. But who knows why? But just every time that I end up smoking again, it makes me sad, because I think of all the things that I've tried, and I can't really think of anything that I haven't tried. And I'm like, so where's the answer? Why isn't it now? Oh, wow. Really testing the length of my camera here. I think I know how long it can record, but I kind of don't. Excuse me. Crying is triggering my gag reflex. But, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So maybe I don't know the answer. And it just makes me sad to think that last time wasn't it. That, why don't I know it yet? Let me recollect my thoughts, because I forgot where I was going. I don't know the answer yet. Makes me sad to think that I don't. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. There was a serious period where I was like, there were certain blessings that I can't have. Smoking is under the word of wisdom. So, even though it's not smoking, but smoking still applies to this. I can't get married in the temple. Certain things like that. And I kind of if I'm not going to be married in the temple, then I don't want to be married at all. I want to give that woman all of the blessings. Or I'll just give nothing. The woman won't be out anything. All I'll be out is marriage, and for me, I feel like I would be okay with that. So but there was a period where I was like, okay, Lord, look, if I'm not ever going to get over smoking, then I want you to take me in my sleep. And I will face judgment now. But I'm still here. And that was maybe a year or so ago. And so all I can say is either, okay, just reached the limit on the camera. Anyways, so what I was saying is, I didn't notice when it stopped, but so I'm talking about how I I wanted him to take me if I wasn't going to stop smoking. I said, Lord, take me in my sleep. And that was like a year ago. I'm still here. So basically, he either I am going to stop, or what kind of makes me sad is thinking that I'm not going to stop, but he has something that he needs me to do that I can do regardless if I'm still smoking. Because, I mean, certainly I can still go around and bless people, make people happy. I can still go buy a sandwich for the homeless man on the street corner. I can still do all of these great acts of service, make people happy. I can put out clean content for this YouTube channel. That's, you know. So there's still things I can do. Despite what I'm doing. I just can't do everything to the fullest. And so there's actually, this was years ago, but another thing too, my mom suggested that maybe, you know, get married, but not a temple marriage, and then the wife could help out with my smoking problem, because then, like, I would have somebody that I would want to be with 24/7, and so then I could, you know, like, because, like, my mom, like, I don't want to be 24/7 with my mom. I'm okay living in the house with her, but just having her around 24/7 sounds a bit much for me, and going with her everywhere, and like if she goes to the store, well, I have to go to the store too, so that I don't be at home and end up getting the craving and go find my hidden pack and smoke. Yeah, no, that does not sound like something I would like, but if I think about it, I would probably totally be okay going to the store with the girl that I truly love. Which, yeah, I'm kind of sort of still working on a relationship with my mom, but at the same time, you know, it's coming along nicely. But still at this point, and maybe possibly in the future, I'd much rather go to the store with my wife than I would with my mom. If it were, I didn't want to go, but I needed to go so that I wouldn't be alone where I could end up smoking, you know? So, yeah, so she suggested maybe, you know, you get married outside of the temple, the wife helps you with your smoking problem, and then you're good to go. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this Let's Talk. Hopefully I gave you guys some inspiration, and I don't know, maybe help somebody feel happy again, or I'm just out to help people, that's all. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next Let's Talk, where we'll be back to normal stuff. I do have a few I need to upload. Yeah, thank you guys for watching.